Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Current Affairs MCQ. Let us begin with the previous day's question. Consider the following statements regarding international relations and trade. 1. Pakistan is a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. 2. Saudi Arabia is the largest oil exporter in the world and a leading member of Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. 3. Both countries share a border with Iran. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is D. Pakistan is a full member of SCO. Hence, statement 1 is correct. Saudi Arabia is the largest oil exporter and a key member of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Pakistan shares a short border with Iran in the southwest. Saudi Arabia shares a border with Iran via the Gulf Maritime Boundary. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 1. With reference to the Dadasaheb Phalke Award, consider the following statements. 1. It is conferred annually by the Ministry of Culture for outstanding contribution to Indian cinema. 2. The award carries a Swarna Kamal, a cash prize and a shawl. 3. It was instituted in 1969 to honor the contributions of the father of the Indian cinema. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is B. The Dadasaheb Phalke Award is conferred by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, not by the Ministry of Culture. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The award consists of a Swarna Kamal, a cash prize and a shawl. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It was instituted in 1969 to commemorate Dadasaheb Phalke, regarded as the father of Indian cinema. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 2. With reference to India's agricultural trade, consider the following statements. 1. India maintains a dominant position as a global rice exporter while also being one of the world's largest importers of edible oils to meet domestic demand. 2. India exports significant quantities of maize, especially to countries in South and Southeast Asia. 3. Spices and marine products together account for the largest share of India's agri-export basket. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is A. India is the largest rice exporter globally and also imports nearly 60 to 65% of its edible oil demand. Hence, statement 1 is correct. India exports maize primarily to countries such as Vietnam, Bangladesh, Nepal and Malaysia. Hence, statement 2 is correct. While spices and marine products contribute significantly, the largest share is held by rice in India's agri-exports. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 3. With reference to the Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019, consider the following statements. 1. The Act provides a legal framework to prohibit discrimination against transgender persons in key areas like education, employment and healthcare. 2. It allows for the official recognition of a person's self-perceived gender identity based solely on a self-declaration without requiring any external certification. 3. The Act mandates the formation of a National Council for Transgender Persons to advise the government and monitor the law's implementation. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only. B. 2 and 3 only. C. 1 and 3 only. D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is C. The Act prohibits discrimination in areas like education, employment, healthcare, access to public goods and services. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The Act requires a certificate of identity issued by the district magistrate, though the 2014 NALSA judgment emphasized self-identification. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The Act establishes a National Council for Transgender Persons to advise the government and monitor implementation. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 4. With reference to the traditional and alternative systems of medicine, consider the following pairs. 1. Ayurveda, originated in Greece and developed further in the Arab world. 2. Unani, Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. 3. Siddha, traditional system with roots in Tamil culture. 4. Homeopathy, based on the principle of like cures like, founded by Samuel Hahnemann. How many of the above pairs are correctly matched? A. Only 1, B. Only 2, C. Only 3, D. All 4. The correct answer is B. Ayurveda is an indigenous Indian system with texts like Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhita. It did not originate in Greece. Hence, pair 1 is not correct. Unani originated in Greece and developed through Arab scholars. The Charak Samhita and Sushruta Samhitas belong to Ayurveda, not Unani. Hence, pair 2 is not correct. Siddha medicine has its roots in Tamil culture and is considered one of the oldest systems of medicine. Hence, pair 3 is correct. Homeopathy was founded by Samuel Hahnemann based on the principle of like cures like. Hence, pair 4 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 5. With reference to macroeconomic growth drivers, consider the following statements. 1. The aggregate demand in an open economy is composed of 4 core components: private consumption, gross investment, government expenditure, and net exports. 2. A new cycle of private investment is typically triggered only after rising consumer demand absorbs most of the existing slack in industrial capacity. 3. A sustained increase in public capital expenditure is a viable long-term strategy to substitute for a weak private investment cycle and drive high economic growth. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is A. The economy's demand side is composed of consumption by households, private investment, government spending, and net exports. Hence, statement 1 is correct. This is a fundamental concept in macroeconomics represented by the formula AD is equal to C plus I plus G plus NX. C. Consumption. Spending by households on goods and services. I. Investment. Spending by businesses on capital goods and by households on new housing. G. Spending by the government on public services and investment. NX. Net exports. The value of a country's exports minus the value of its imports. These 4 pillars represent the total demand for all finished goods and services produced in an economy. When capacity utilization is low, firms have room to expand but won't unless demands pick up. Thus, boosting household demand is indeed a way to encourage fresh private investment. Hence, statement 2 is correct. While public investment is a powerful tool, it's not a sustainable long-term substitute for private investment. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Hence, option A is the correct answer. Question 6. Consider the following statements regarding secularism as a feature of the Indian Constitution. 1. The term secular was explicitly part of the preamble in the Constitution of India as originally adopted in 1949. 2. The Supreme Court has affirmed that the secular character of the Constitution is a basic feature and thus cannot be abrogated by parliamentary amendment. 3. The Constitution prohibits the state from discriminating against any citizen solely on the grounds of religion. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is B. Secularism was not explicitly mentioned in the original constitution. It was clarified through judicial interpretation over time. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The Supreme Court has repeatedly affirmed that secularism forms part of the constitution's basic structure and cannot be amended. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The state, in accordance with Articles 14, 15 and the preamble, must ensure equality and cannot discriminate on the basis of religion. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 7. Which of the following statements most accurately describes a key feature of the H-1B visa program in the United States? A. It is primarily granted to individuals for tourism and short-term business meetings. B. It is reserved for investors who invest a significant amount of capital into a US business. C. Applicants are selected through a lottery system when the number of petitions exceeds the annual cap. D. It provides a direct and immediate path to permanent residency for all holders. The correct answer is C. The H-1B visa allows US employers to hire foreign professionals in specialty occupations that typically require a bachelor's degree or higher. Due to immense demand, the number of applications received each year often far surpass the annual quota set by the US Congress. To manage this, The US Citizenship and Immigration Services conducts a random lottery to select which petitions are eligible for processing. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Question 8. Which of the following is not one of the 6 principal organs of the United Nations? A. General Assembly, B. Security Council, C. International Court of Justice, D. World Health Organization. The correct answer is D. The 6 principal organs of the United Nations are General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. The World Health Organization is a specialized agency of the UN focusing on global health issues and is therefore not considered one of its principal organs. Hence, option D is the correct answer. Question 9. The GST Council implements a rate cut on essential food items like salt and basic flour. What is the most likely impact on the quantity demanded and the government's tax revenue from these items? A. A massive increase in quantity demanded and a sharp rise in tax revenue. B. A small increase in quantity demanded and a significant fall in tax revenue. C. No change in quantity demanded and no change in tax revenue. D. A proportional increase in quantity demanded, leaving tax revenue unchanged. The correct answer is B. Essential food items like salt have highly inelastic demand. People generally buy the amount they need regardless of small price changes. Therefore, a GST cut will only cause a very small increase in sales. Since the tax per rate unit is lower and the sales volume doesn't increase much, the government's total tax revenue from these items will fall significantly. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Question 10. Consider the following statements regarding monetary policy reforms in India. 1. The Narasimhan Committee recommended the establishment of a statutory monetary policy committee to control inflation. 2. The Monetary Policy Committee, as constituted by the 2016 RBI Act amendments, has an equal number of members from the RBI and the government. 3. The legally mandated inflation target for the RBI is 4% consumer price index inflation with a permissible deviation of plus or minus 2%. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? A. 1 and 2 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3. The correct answer is B. The Narasimhan Committees 1991 and 1998 focused on broad banking sector reforms such as SLR or CRR reduction, asset reconstruction, prudential norms, and restructuring or mergers. They did not recommend a statutory MPC to target inflation, which was later proposed by the Urjit Patel Committee, leading to the 2016 framework. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The MPC under the amended RBI Act has 6 members, 3 from the RBI, Governor, Deputy Governor in charge of monetary policy, and 1 RBI nominee, and 3 external members appointed by the central government. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The legal inflation target notified under the flexible inflation targeting framework is 4% CPI with a tolerance band of plus minus 2% set by the government in consultation with RBI. Hence, statement 3 is correct. Hence, option B is the correct answer. Now, let us look at today's practice question. Which of the following statements about the national pension system is or are correct? 1. NPS is regulated by the Securities and Exchange Board of India. 2. NPS is open to all Indian citizens between the ages of 18 and 70. 3. It is a voluntary scheme for employees of the Government of India but mandatory for the state government employees. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1 and 2, B. 2 and 3, C. 1 and 3, D. 2 only. Please provide your answer in the comment section.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.